Hey guys, it's John and Morgan with Longhaul Lifesavers, and welcome to another episode of Finally Friday.
Woohoo! We made it to the weekend.
Stay tuned, you'll see some gun parts.
We went to home, back to Fort Wayne, Indiana again.
Yep.
That was our last trip that we're gonna do for probably the next year, unless if there's another spontaneous trip. We had a lot of fun. John got to go hunting. Why did it not go well?
No, it went fine. It was just one morning it was freezing cold. That evening it started to rain, and then I was gonna go Sunday morning, but I woke up at 5 and looked outside and saw it was like 50-mile-an-hour winds and rain, and I said, I'm not doing that. I'm going back to bed. I only got to go for one day, but it was good to get back out in the woods and have some time with my dad, and that's my happy place. That's my church. That's where I go to relieve stress and ponder life questions.
Okay.
But no, it was cool. I saw a couple things, little small 4-point buck, a couple spike bucks, and a few does, a lot of squirrels, and some turkeys. And it's disheartening when you hear everyone around you shooting and you just think, oh, they just got a 14-point buck, and I'm sitting here looking at a stupid little spike buck.
So
second cousin got a nice buck, and a lot of my family members got some nice bucks, and some of my friends back from high school got some nice bucks. So congratulations, guys.
all I can think of when you're talking about not shooting one of these bucks that you saw is Daniel Tosh's skit about the sniper. He's like, oh, he lives.
Yeah. You move too much.
Yeah.
No, the little 4-point buck, he was,
Like
I had
right
him
there.
perfectly in my crosshairs. I could have taken him easily. And he walked straight at me from the other woods. I could have taken him, but my goal was twofold: to fill the freezer with meat, to get a nice mountable buck. If it wasn't mountable, I wasn't going to take it. I've taken some scraggly, scrawny looking things, and I wanted something that I could, get a mount for. So
Use the whole deer.
Yeah.
That's a big part of our, we do really like to hunt, but we eat everything and we use everything.
And when we say everything, everything. We eat the heart, liver. We even use the intestines to make for the sausage wrapping or the sausage casing. We use the brains to tan the hide. I mean, we use every bit of it.
It's super embarrassing when you have to pull off the side of the road because there's roadkill and your husband's yelling, we gotta get the pea sack.
Yeah.
So
To bait traps and stuff, coyote pea, and yeah.
he even uses roadkill. Did she just throw up?
No.
You killed it!
Quinn, what are you doing?
So this is Mia's, we call it her pig even though it's a hedgehog. And Quinn just...
Mia's favorite toy.
Quinn
Quit
just
moving the
killed
camera.
it. It's dead. No more.
Gone.
So anyways, it was a good trip for him.
But happy to be back.
Yes.
So we got back. I had to go to the grocery store because we were out of everything. Evidently COVID 2.0 has hit because these shelves are empty. I mean, I was scrounging for stuff that we don't normally eat. Was the only thing left on the shelves that we had to get.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on. The reason for my hair is I can't get into a barbershop because those are all closed back down. I don't know if we're...
Are they closed here too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I don't know if we're letting this grow out
Oh my goodness.
or if I'm just gonna buzz it, but it's looking like a hobo, y'all.
We are kind of starting our mindset, clearing out the RV because it's been almost 3 months, so we're almost done with this contract. So we do our 3-month purge every time to get ready to be roadworthy. I wish I could lose weight like the RV.
Well, it's kind of hard right now too. If we have to start stocking up on stuff,
Yeah.
we have to add all this extra weight right before we go to move. So.
Okay, so we told you last week that we met Renee and Kyle with Happily Ever Hanks. If you're not subscribed to them, make sure to go check them out. But Quinn, stop moving the camera.
Girls.
So anyways.
Okay.
Renee told us you should really check out TikTok. It's lots of fun.
Thanks, Renee. You created a monster.
So I finally downloaded TikTok. I know I'm like eight and a half months late because I know everybody started it at the beginning of COVID. But I am now on TikTok let me rephrase that. We are now on TikTok.
No. You.
Oh, you're going to be in it, honey.
No, I ain't.
Don't you worry. Anyways, we are now on TikTok, Longhaul Lifesavers. And be careful because it is a rabbit hole that you cannot come back out of. 5 hours of your day can just...
Oh my Lord.
Disappear.
No, that is something I do not want.
Literally disappear.
I don't have 5 hours of my day to give up.
And it's Vine. Like, let's face it, that's what it is. If anybody remembers Vine.
Do it for the Vine.
Right? Yeah. Now we say
now it's do it for the tube.
Do it for the tube. All you out there in YouTube land. So since we can't really do the gun stuff all the time, or actual gun channel, John is gonna just sprinkle in and show you real quick what he was able to get. I believe we went to 8 different gun stores to try and piece things together.
Just to get half of the parts that I need.
Because the parts that he wanted and or needed online are not available, not being shipped, whatever. We told you about that last week.
So
John.
are we doing this like Christmas Day, you hand me?
Yeah, shut your eyes.
Okay. This is a lower parts kit with the trigger group, no grip.
All right.
It is exactly what it is. A TPS arms lower control group kit with trigger assembly without the grip, because anytime I get one of these kits, I don't like the grip that they give. I have really big hands and they always give a really thin grip and I just don't like it. We'll show you the grip that we did get, but if you're going to build an AR or you want to upgrade your trigger group, this is a good company. TPS is strong. It's kind of like, it's like a battle ready trigger, so it's not like the standard DPMS trigger that you get. This is more, this will stand the test of time, so this one's a good one.
Thank you, Santa. It's always what I've wanted.
This is the lower, I think, probably. It is an Aero M4E1 lower. So this is 7075 T6 aluminum. You see it right there. So what this is, your magazine goes in here, and you have your pistol grip right here, and you go pew 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 pew. Trigger.
How was that again?
Pew 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 pew. Your trigger group and controls go in here with your safety and fire, and that is that. So this is the base platform of building an AR.
I have a question. Is it a 22?
It's not a 22.
Pew pew pew.
Shut up. Next. This is probably the grip. It is. So this is the Magpul MOE grip. I like this grip a little better. It fits my hand better. It's a little thicker, but it's still thin enough that it fits her. And the thing I like about this is, if you can see right here, I don't know if you can see, whatever. You guys probably don't care. But the bottom comes out and it has storage in here, so you can store extra rounds, or if you have a small takedown kit, you can put it in there. So this piece.
Yeah, no, you can't build it.
I'm not building it. See? It comes apart. I'm not building it, YouTube. It comes apart. There we go. That is... It's hard to see against my black shirt, see? So green, right there. And you hold it right there. Pew, pew, pew. Next. Ooh, this is probably the buffer tube kit. It is. So another Aero Precision. If you haven't seen, there is a theme with Aero Precision. I like them. I think their stuff is high quality and it's a pretty decent price. For the uppers, I don't like their upper assemblies. We'll probably go with a Geisel or a Landtac or a Daniel Defense. A little higher quality, but you get a better barrel and you get a better gas tube, so you can run and gun for a long time without it melting down. This piece, again, not building, YouTube. None of this is fixed to the gun. This goes in here like this. Gets threaded on, and then your stock slides on over here, so you can put it to your shoulder and pew pew pew. And then you have a counterweight in here, and this slides in and it holds it in place. So when you fire a shot, your bolt carrier group will come back into the spring and then cycle the next. I'm not gonna flip that. It'll cycle the next round, and the spring will feed the next round into the chamber. This isn't a part. This is a tool. This is a vice block. It is a magazine well vice block. So she went out of order. She didn't hand me all the parts because there's more parts. But
No, I'm testing you.
You're testing me.
Yeah.
Are you testing my skills?
Yeah.
This, if you're ever working on an AR, what this does is slides up into your magazine, so that way you can put this into a vise and you can clamp it down. That way you can work on it. And next, oops, something just dropped. This is the bad lever. So this is a Magpul bad lever, and what this is it's a synonym for a battery assist device. So what this does is your slide release that you can slam with your hand. But what I like about this is it has a little piece that wraps around into your trigger guard, so you can do all your controls with one finger without actually taking the gun off your shoulder and slamming the forward assist to cycle another round into your gun. You can just keep it on, and you can feed a new mag and flip it down with your finger, and you're good to go. Well, this is a pin block. So this is a Wheeler Delta Series bench block. This piece sits down flat onto your bench, and then you put your lower receiver on it. So when you're putting in your trigger control group and stuff like that, it has holes in the specific places so that you can drive your pins in without damaging your workbench or a table or whatever you're working on. That's a marriage saver. Next.
A marriage saver.
Yeah. Think if I damaged your bench.
Why are your eyes shut? Oh, because you're doing your.
Because I'm holding something.
If you damage something of mine, I'd be mad. True.
This is a punch and a roll pin set. So again, Wheeler Engineering. Again, if you haven't noticed the theme, Wheeler Engineering. If you want to go for gunsmithing tools, Wheeler Engineering is the way to go. There are more expensive ones and there are cheaper ones. More expensive is not much better quality than this, and the less expensive ones are junk. And I'm talking about the real Avid. I've used a couple of their crap and it just, like their pin set, you hammer it once and it bends. Pointless. Then you just have to buy another set. Spend the money, buy once, cry once. So this is a roll pin start set and a punch set. This puts in all your pins for your trigger control group.
Well, this one's obvious.
Oh yeah, this is the wrench. This is the Wheeler Delta Series, the AR combo wrench. So you can do all kinds of things. You can do your flash hider, you can do your king nut, castle nut, and then you can do the lock nut for the rear. The piece that we showed you that threads in here, it has a locking nut that goes on this back side, and that's what this piece, it lines up with that king nut, or the locking nut.
So you had a good Christmas.
So we got a few more things while we were in Fort Wayne. Morgan got her Eskimo wrap.
No, I'm like the biggest fan of really anything soft, right? Anything soft. But I really love blankets, like throw blankets. I'm always covered. Well, I always have my bathrobe on and then have blankets wrapped on me. And then Quinn is always on my lap and she likes the soft fuzzy blankets too. His dad and stepmom, thank you very much. They got me hooded blanket.
Yeah.
They got me one last year too.
Last year she got one and the dogs have kind of claimed that as their own. Quinn likes to curl up in the little hood.
And then you wrap her in the rest of the blanket.
Yeah.
So she claimed it. So now I have one for myself. So
they're ridiculous.
It's great.
And then I got a knife.
That's a big old knife.
Yeah. That's not a knife. This is a knife. No, this is like a mini cleaver here.
No, that's like
yeah. It's the size of my head.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I don't know. I don't know what I would cut with this.
A deer.
But it's not like you could skin a deer with this.
No, you'd have to chop his leg off with that.
Yeah.
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 That's a zombie knife right there.
Chopping chicken heads.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my god.
So we got a big knife. Voila. Oh, and it came with this little carrying case. Maybe we should put it in that.
Probably.
My dad said he had one and it rusts pretty easily, so I'm concerned about that.
Well, the good thing is we spend a lot of time in places that are in very low humidity, so hopefully it doesn't rust.
Yeah, so there's that, and it's got a little belt loop if you feel like going on an axe murdering rage. You can throw that on your belt and then just...
What? That's a really skinny... Oh, this is the belt loop.
Yeah.
This is the belt loop, people, not this little thing.
Yeah, no, that's the...
No, that's the little holder. I got it. Okay. Overall, we had a great time going up north. It was worth it just to even get the gun parts alone. Jonathan!
I didn't spill it. Jonathan!
When he's in trouble. Jonathan. Anyways, it was worth it just to get the gun parts alone because there's literally nothing here where we are currently. So
yeah, and I still didn't even get all the parts that I need. Somebody needs to stock up on gun parts or they need to open back up the online purchase because there's some bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, listen to this.
Okay, we're gonna get a little deep. So if you're an easily offended person or you don't want to hear
You're on the wrong channel.
Yeah. And you know, we've been talking a lot about we don't want to hold back at all. We've never not told the truth. It's just we've always held back on certain things, and we've always said, and we will still remain saying that there's three things that we try really hard not to discuss on here, and that is religion, politics, and money. However, I'm sure this topic that I'm going to bring up, somebody is going to try to connect to probably two of those three things, and I am not by any means trying to connect them at all. I could care less what your beliefs are. They're your beliefs. That's
why
okay.
they're called your beliefs.
Yeah, so anyways, I just want to talk about something that is personally affecting us currently, and I know a lot of other of our friends that are being affected by this as well, and something that the general public might not be aware of. I just want to put it out there, and then you do whatever you want with that information. Every year, John signs the declination form for the flu vaccine, and we're not anti-vaxxers. I'm not saying that, so get that out of your head right now.
Yeah.
We're just not flu vaccine people, because the science that they have for it, it's not strong enough for us to believe in injecting that into your body. That's all I'm going to say about that.
My number one thing is for the last 3 years I've signed the declination. 5 years prior to that, I always got the flu shot because it was required by the hospital. If not, I would lose my job, which is bullshit. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Every time in those 5 years that I got it, I was sick for a week and a half. That is my big concern. If it's gonna make me sick, why am I taking it? So I can either take it and definitely get sick, or I can not take it and possibly get the flu.
Especially when you literally look up influenza A, B, or C and see what the symptoms are for any of those 3 flus. They are literally the exact same as what the side effects are for the vaccine.
While the severity, I know, I'm a nurse. The severity may be different for the flu.
Yes, but...
And I've seen young patients go on ECMO and lose a leg from the flu. And yeah, it sucks. But it's also few and far between.
Right.
We're
just more of the, we'd rather use basic common sense hygiene. If you're sick, you stay home. If you're with somebody who's sick, you stay away from them. You know, I mean, wash your hands, sneeze into your arm. I mean, these are all things that we should have all been doing forever.
Even before COVID, generally, when we went out into public during flu season, we would wear a mask. I would wear a mask. Mm-hmm. It's just basic hygiene. And since I stopped getting the flu vaccine, I haven't gotten the flu.
No.
Now I said that, I'm probably going to get the flu,
right,
knock on wood. But it's just the common sense that is lacking in this country right now is asinine. And then to make matters worse, like I said, the hospitals say, well, you have to get it or we're gonna fire you.
I haven't gotten into that.
Okay.
So anyways, he signs the declination form every year. So about 6 months ago, he signed the declination form. Our agency accepted it. There was absolutely no issues. It was submitted to the hospital that he's currently working for, which he has already been 2.5 months at this hospital during flu season. And all of a sudden, it's an issue. And they said, you either have to provide a religious exemption, or you need to provide a medical exemption, or lose your job, or take the vaccine. Okay, so those are our options. So either provide an exemption, lose your job, or take the vaccine. So to me, this is America. We are supposed to be free. We have not been free for a very long time. And this right here, what I'm talking about, is just more proof of that. So
granted, okay, so we are more free
than other countries. I'm not arguing that.
Get that right.
Yes, I'm not arguing that at all. What I'm saying though is when people walk around thinking that they are 100% free because they are an American, that is not true.
Yeah.
Again, not putting this on any political thing. I'm not putting this on any religious thing. None of that. All I'm saying is when you have a patient in the hospital and the patient says, I want to decline that medical treatment, even if the nurses and doctors think, no, you really should have this medical treatment, they have the right to decline it. They're telling him, who is getting something injected into him, he now becomes the patient, you don't have the right. So at what point is his life, you had a fuzzy on you, his life less valuable than others, is the way I'm looking at this.
Well, it has been since COVID.
It has been since COVID. So anyways, so now they're threatening, to fire him. And unfortunately, I'm seeing this in a lot of the like online forums and stuff, in the Facebook pages and all that travel nurses are all facing right now. And it's not just the travel nurses, it's staff nurses. I even saw his home hospital, the janitors apparently were notified that if they did not get the flu vaccine, that they would be terminated as well.
There was no acceptable declination.
Correct. So, so we said, you know what, and we are religious. Like I said, we will not go into that. But so we went ahead and filed a religious exemption. If I say to my employer, due to my religious beliefs, I will not move forward with this, their response should be, got it. Okay, we're moving on.
Was that a response?
Absolutely not.
No.
We ended up getting a letter
Questionnaire.
with a questionnaire with, I believe there was 8 questions on
Yeah.
it. And they were very detailed questions that you had to respond in the little given box that they had. This is online. And they were questions like, what religion are you? First of all. Number 2, I need specific examples and be very detailed. Well, they only gave you about 200 characters
Yep.
to be able to respond to a very detailed description.
Then they wanted a letter from
A pastor, reverend, priest,
a
whatever,
clergy
whatever
member.
you
Yeah.
consider it. Yeah. So we have now submitted that. The the response on the letter was that they will review all of your documentation and then let you know whether or not your religion meets
acceptable.
their criteria.
Yeah.
How are you free to practice your own religion?
Or decide what goes into your body.
Right. So why I'm bringing this up is because we can't just stop here at the flu vaccine, because everybody knows every time you turn the TV on, all you hear is corona vaccine, vaccine. I am so sick and tired because they will force medical employees, which they're already talking about doing, into taking the treatment or the vaccine first. And at that point, they're guinea pigs, and
we
it
become
will
the
be
poster
used.
children for the media.
Amen. So it will be, well, the nurses and doctors and all the healthcare staff, got in line and took it, so why won't you?
Not to mention that they blackmailed us with our jobs.
Correct. Because let's face it, like most nurses have families or people that rely on them to support them, and they, can't afford to lose their job, so they will do whatever. And that is duress, people. Again,
That
not
is why
free.
I'm getting out of this shit.
Yeah, again, our personal beliefs, statements, all of this, it has nothing to do. I am not telling you do not get the vaccine. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying educate.
Make your own choice.
Truly know. Do not fall for what you're being told to do. I mean, if somebody says go jump off the bridge, that will cure COVID. It sure will, because you'll die. But is that what you want?
And if you're offended, congratulations.
At this point, I mean, I can't stand by. I can't, he and I discussed whether or not we wanted to talk about this in our vlog, whether or not we wanted to be, because in my mind, like he said, he's trying to get out of nursing. And in my mind, I'm like ready to take this all the way to the top. And he's like, I can't be the white knight for everyone. Like, I can't be the,
Mostly just because I don't give a shit.
But, okay, here's John and I very different, because here I say, to me, this is like watching people running into a burning building that I know they're not going to be able to come back out of, and me just sitting there not saying anything. He is like, you know what?
Let them run.
They're grown adults. If they want to go in a building that's on fire, go on in there,
More power to you.
So we are very, very different in our empathy, sympathy, what would you want to call that? All of the above.
Level of give a
My point is, like I said, not political, not religious, just the fact that think about what we just said.
There's so much research on this topic, and if you're going to do research on something, I've noticed a lot of people, like, for political, if they want to research something, if they're right-leaning, they go to Fox for their news source, or they go to these right-leaning things for their information. If you're left, you go to CNN, or pick one. Throw a dart at a wall and pick one. But you have to look at both sides. And it's the same thing with medical issues or any medication. There are going to be two sides to every story. Read information from both sides, from anti-vaxxers, from the CDC, from everybody.
Yeah.
Get all that information
and then
make a decision for yourself. That's what's wrong, is nobody's making a decision for themselves. They're listening to the damn media and the news outlets, and they're taking it as gospel.
And allowing fear to control. We talked about this with friends the other night. Logic has gone out the window, and it's all emotion-based decision making. Yeah. And that's like the most deadly combination, to just have all these emotions and just like, woo, I'm gonna make all these decisions right now.
Here's a perfect example. So I got to the contract that I'm on in Paducah right now, and we use a medication system, Pyxis or Omnicell, whatever other nurses use. This one's Omnicell. So it has a biometric scanner on there so that you can scan your finger. Well, since COVID hit, they shut that down. And now they want you to type in your 16-digit password. So I asked, why? You mean to tell me that it's more risk of infection if I just touch the biometric scanner once, but touching it 16 times is less risk of infection?
What?
What? What kind of stupidity is this? No common sense. Yeah, I'm gonna touch it once and I get COVID, but I touch it 16 times, I'm perfectly safe.
Yeah.
That's your level of common sense everywhere right now. In the healthcare field, in your hospitals, at your grocery stores. And Here's another. This is getting deep. Remember when it used to be cool and you were riding against the system when it was like, the system, you had 2 birds to the system, and now it's like, well, the system says that I can get everything free, so we need to get up the ass so I can get some free shit. When did we become a bunch of country?
Yeah.
I need a drink. I know what I'm gonna do for my TikTok. I'm just gonna do daily rants with John.
Just call him Salty.
SDR, Salty Dog Rants.
It is hard. What is going on in the world right now puts a strain on people's relationships, not only with their spouses, but, you know, with their friends, with their family, with whatever, because everybody has such different beliefs. And, you know, John and I are extremely stuck in our belief that you do you, I do me, and as long as we're not hurting each other, go about your day. Like, there's no reason to get involved in somebody else's drama.
I've been watching a channel here recently. It's John Lovell with Warrior Poet Society. He runs a gun channel, but it's not just guns. So it's warrior poets. So you can kill someone just as quick as you can write a poem. The
like
whole
the
rounded
tragedy
man. The whole rounded man, you know. And
that's
so,
sexist.
You. But he does gun videos, but he also does like more in-depth, you know, a strong marriage or history lessons, stuff like that. And I watched a video of his the other day that was it was talking about having a strong marriage and how you can't just rely on your partner for everything, you know. And a lot of times, especially in the male's views, it's I have to go to work, I have to upkeep the house, I have to mow the lawn, I have to pay the tax, I have all these things, and women on the other side, they have to raise kids or cook, and they feel like they have to,
typical stereotype.
you know, the typical stereotypes of, and when you get that locked into your mind, you kind of, it starts to pile up to where you feel like you're drowning, and it can't be that way. You have to be a team. So it was a really good video. I watched it late. It was like 2 years ago that he put this out, but I just came across it, and it really hit home, especially right now when I'm trying to get, you know, I'm trying to get guns ready, I'm trying to get bags ready, I'm trying to get my classes done, I'm dealing with nursing, I'm dealing with going to a new job, getting stuff in the RV fixed, and it just piles up to where you're like, you don't know where to start. You don't know what project to start because you got 20 of them started that you haven't finished, but this one now takes priority, and it's just...
And it sucks. It sucks as a spouse to see that and not be able to take some of that burden because either A, I don't have the knowledge base for it, or I don't have the strength to do it, or whatever the reason is that I can't help him with that. And I'm sure that you feel that way on things with me as well. But there's one thing that, like, we had a good conversation about this morning, that everybody copes with the anxiety or stress or whatever word you want to fill in the blank with whatever's going on in the world right now. And my way of coping with it is 100% different than his way of coping with it. I dive so deep into research and listening to anyone and everyone's opinion that I can find, and watching all of the news sources, and because they're all full of shit in my opinion. But like I said, like John was saying earlier, I watch everything I can to try and make a whole picture, put my own educated opinion together.
You deal with it that way.
Yes, John does not deal with that.
But then
I spew everything that I have crammed into my brain. I want to spew at him 100 mile an hour.
So in my mind, I have, like I said, I have all this shit I gotta deal with, and then she just throws more shit on me. And
that's not my intention.
I told her today, I can't do, you gotta stop talking to me about this shit that's going on in the world. Yes, it affects me, but it doesn't affect me right now. I don't care. If it comes to, I have to shoot, you tell me when and where. It's time for me to go to work, you tell me when and where. This is what I have to do right now, this is what we're doing. I don't give a shit about everything else that's going on. Yeah, it sucks, and it'll affect me, but it's not affecting me right now. This is what is affecting me right now. This is what I have to deal with. This is that barrier I need to get through right now to get to the next one.
I think there's a big difference between the way men and women think, and I think men prioritize immediate stuff. I'm planning I've already planned all the way our entire lives in my head, you know, and you can't do that.
What's that saying? You can hear God laughing at your plans. You can plan till you're blue in the face, but it doesn't matter. It can change at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So that's how I deal with things. Yeah, I have like a general overview of my plans.
Right.
But it's It's liquid.
You have
it's
a loosely structured idea.
It's not liquid. It's fluid. It's always changing. This got deep real quick. We're sorry, guys.
Really deep. Yeah. If you're still
and it's a
here,
long one.
If you're still here hanging out with us,
You're a true fan.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, our intention is not to offend. Our intention is just to ask you. No, I'm not.
Our intention isn't to offend. But if you are offended,
You're the problem.
why? There was nothing offensive in this.
No.
How do we have a generation now that grew up watching South Park and were triggered by everything?
Yeah.
Do you remember South Park?
It's still on.
Go back and watch that shit.
The COVID episode is great.
Like, seriously. He's in this country now. Okay, let's end it. Anything else you'd like to spew to the camera?
Stay tuned for Monday, where we don't talk about anything deep.
Yeah, this is the deepest one we've done.
This is the deepest one we've done.
And I think it's just because with the second round of COVID and states locking down again and the shelves empty, and it's just
hang in there, everyone.
all my fucks have been given. I got none left.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point that you have to say something or you're just gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And this is a platform to say whatever the hell you want, and if you don't like it, sweet. There's other channels you can go watch. If you like it, you like it. Give a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.